Hello folks, welcome back to Life Hacks for Lasting Love. It's good to be here again.
It is.
Today we'd like to talk about active listening. You may remember a few episodes ago we spoke about knowing when you're in fix-it mode and knowing when you're in just listen mode. The idea of active listening is to let your partner know that you are really listening to them. You're not just giving them the aha, yeah. I know that resonated out there. I've had people talk to me about it. Active listening is the way that you reflect what the other person is saying to you so that you know that they are listening or they know that you are listening. Now, if I was telling Lyn about my day yesterday and how I drove with a friend up to a beautiful place called Boreen Point where we had some bananas while we were out there. Bananas. Bananas is our safety word. If we think the other person isn't listening, you simply drop bananas into the conversation. Feel free to invent whichever one you like. And we know that we need to talk to each other, that we aren't listening, that we aren't reflecting.
And that's exactly right. One of the things when we're active listening is really, and it is a little bit harder, we're here on the camera, but it's actually connecting with the other person and looking at them and sort of turning and giving that eye contact. Because active listening is saying, I'm really listening to understand. I'm listening to make sure I'm on the right page, that I understand what you're saying. So there's actually a formula for active listening, and it really is, to summarize the content and to then pick up the feeling. So we're actually going to do a take 2 of that. You would have noticed that I deliberately drifted off. I was pretending to do something different. So Steve did feel like I wasn't there, and he used our word, which is bananas, which means, hey, you're not listening to me and we're not on the same page. So we're actually going to demonstrate that, because that's the feedback we've had. And really at this point want to say thank you to a lot of people who private message us or just contact us around some of the things. Really want to say thank you. We actually do take on your advice, and I suppose this is a good segue for one of them. Thank you, Kate, our daughter and our camera person is much better, and that's why we're back recording. But it actually gave us a beautiful opportunity to hear a lot of people saying actually once a week was enough. And especially if you've had a busy week and you haven't listened one week, to go back and listen to 3 or 4 episodes was too much. So we've actually heard that, and we're actually going to be like TV episodes where it is only coming out once a week.
Oh, excellent. I haven't been told this yet, but that's okay. I'm the last to be told. And quite possibly I've been told and just wasn't listening.
That could have been the case, actually. Yeah.
You know what I mean, guys?
And today is actually the weekend, and so we'll be looking and even hearing feedback. What day do you think would be a great day for us to always upload this? So keep those comments coming. You don't have to private message though, just put them in the comments section, because that way other people can hear and see what you're writing as well. So yesterday we're going to go back to demonstrating active listening.
Well, I had a great time yesterday. I went to a place called Boreen Point, which is here on the beautiful Sunshine Coast. It's a place I've only ever been 2 or 3 times in the 7 years we've lived here.
Yes.
Would you like to come for a trip up there with me?
Absolutely. So yesterday you went to Boreen Point, and it sounds like it was something that you really enjoyed, to the point you want to take me there sometime. And you've, even though we've been here 25 years, you've only been there a couple of times.
Only 25.
Have I heard you correctly?
You have heard me correctly. Thank you. What she did there was she mirrored back what I had to say, so that I was fully aware that she was actively listening to me. So our conversations can keep going. You don't have to do the whole long one there. The simple answer might have been, I'd love to see Boreen Point. Then I'd know that she was actually listening to me. And just those little throw-ins, so that your partner knows that apart from the yep.
So Steve actually made it very easy then, because he actually asked me a question, but often our partners don't give us that easy segue in. So that's why we do just suggest. Try and pick up their feeling, like he was excited to take me to Boreen Point, but also then make sure that you've got the right content. Because if I had have said he's excited to take me to Mullaney, he might have felt...
Well, quite clearly she had another agenda. She wasn't listening to what I had to say. And she really wanted to go to Mullaney, which meant I had completely missed the point for making her happy, but also she wasn't listening to me.
And I'd missed his point, because really he was saying Boreen Point. And it's as simple as that. Things like that can just go so badly when we're not listening. So active listening is an opportunity for you to let your partner know, or let anyone know, hey, I want to be on the same page as you.
Well, that works for me. That was about all there was to it for today. Just listen actively, reflect back what your partner's saying to you so that they get that clear understanding. You have the clear understanding. We're both listening. We're communicating with each other.
And you'll have noticed that a lot of these episodes have been on communication. The reason for that is that communication is number one. Once we get that right, everything else makes it a lot easier. It's a number one issue of why people come for relationship counselling. And, let's get our communication right, because when we can learn to listen, to understand, and speak to be understood. So just going back and recapping those few different things is learn to request, not to complain. Really important. To listen actively and not in fix-it mode. And then when we communicate, to really try and make sure that we are using those 5 levels. We're doing the greeting, we're doing the fact and thought, then we're doing the feeling and the meaning.
Okay. I have no chance of retaining this. Thank you, folks. Appreciate it. No.
Hence why we're going to have a resource page. So do drop over to LifeBridge and you'll be able to download some of these resources. Great. Have a great weekend. We're off to have our weekend and enjoy.
At Boring Point.
Boring Point. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
And no, I did not buy the shirt. He bought it himself.